everyone, I'm Sophie and welcome back to my channel. A little while ago I asked on Instagram what kind of videos you would like me to create, and today's video was one that is requested. So in today's video I'm going to attempt to tie-dye some t-shirts with natural dyeing. Natural dyeing is using plant materials or vegetables, anything like that to create the dye. So, for example, you can use things like tea, coffee, herbs, spices, red onions, red cabbage, basically anything that you might accidentally, or beetroot's a good one, anything that you may accidentally stain your clothes with works really well as a natural dye. Obviously, the benefits of natural dye are it's natural, there's no chemicals. In my experience, it tends not to last as long. And in the past, when I've done it, it hasn't always gone that well, but I've been researching methods and I feel pretty confident about today's attempt. So over the last few months, I've been saving up avocado skins and stones. After using them, I've just popped them in the freezer. So I have quite a few saved up now. I think today I'm just going to use the stones. I don't think I'm going to use the skin. And surprisingly, avocado gives off a really nice pale pink colour, or so it seems to from the pictures I've seen. So I'm really hoping that that is the colour that I'm going to get out of this today. I've got quite a few here and I'll weigh them out before adding them to the dye bath. So I'm going to show you how I prep the dye bath, how I prep the t-shirts, and how I dye it and how I tie-dye. I'm also going to use turmeric as well. As I'm sure most of you know, turmeric stains literally everything it touches. So in the past, this is the dye that I've had the most success with, and it just gives that really nice yellow colour that I am literally obsessed with at the moment. And then to dye, I've got some white t-shirts that are a little bit past their best. I'm sure we've all had it in the past where your white t-shirt doesn't stay, yeah, like look at that stain on it, where white t-shirts don't stay bright white for long. So I'm going to tie-dye these and hopefully breathe some new life into them. So not only are we reducing food waste by using our avocado stones, we're also upcycling these t-shirts and hopefully making them last longer. As I mentioned, I've got the plant materials, so the avocado and the turmeric, and I've got the t-shirts. And because I want to do tie-dye today, I've got a bunch of elastic bands. I've got some scales out so I can weigh out the t-shirt to the dye material. I've got some salt, which I'm going to use as a fixative to soak the t-shirt in before I dye it, to hopefully make the dye a little bit more colour fast. I've got a jug for some water, and I've got an old pot. Now, crucially, you don't want to use a pot that you're going to cook in. You want to use an old one that you're going to no longer use for food. And any utensils you use as well, you don't want to use any utensils that you will be using for food. Let's get into the video and see how this goes. So I just put my apron on to protect my clothes, because obviously I don't want to dye the clothes that I'm wearing. I just want to dye these t-shirts. And then the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh my t-shirt that I want to use. So it's 160 grams. And then I'm going to weigh out 160 grams of avocado stones as well and see how many that is. Because ideally I want to match the weight of the avocado stones with the weight of the t-shirt. So I've got 4 big stones there and 2 like medium ones. That comes to 180 grams. I think I'm going to end up putting more stones than that in the dye bath because I want as vibrant a colour as possible. I may just put all the avocado stones that I have in because why not? I may as well just use them up. So they're going straight in this pot. So after I defrosted these, I scrubbed these to make sure I got all the avocado off. So that is all of them. And now I'm going to fill that up with water so it covers all of them. Now I'm going to bring that to the boil and then let it simmer for about an hour or so. And in the meantime, while that is coming to the boil and simmering, I'm going to prepare my t-shirt for the dye. So I need this to soak. I'm going to soak this in warm water for about an hour with salt in it as well. The salt helps the dye fix to the fibres. So normally when you're dyeing a fibre, you want the dye to be nice and even all the way across. But because this is tie-dye, I want some patches to be darker and some patches to be lighter. And that is where the elastic bands come in. So I'm going to put elastic bands all around the t-shirt at random points and wrap them really tightly. And then that will give me that really cool tie-dye pattern. I'm sure most of us have done tie-dye in the past. I definitely remember doing it when I was quite young at school, but tie-dye seems to be making a real comeback right now. You could also use string for this as well. You just need to tie it really tightly. I'm not going for any particular pattern right now, but I think there are certain ways that you can arrange things if you want different patterns. So it might be quite interesting how this comes out. So there's my t-shirt all bundled up in elastic. So I want to make sure that is all covered and immersed in water, and then that's going to soak in there for about an hour, which will allow me time to bring the dye to the boil and let it simmer off to release some of the colour. So now that's boiling, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit and let it simmer. So the avocado stones and the water have been simmering for about an hour now, and the t-shirt has been soaking in this bowl for an hour as well. Every so often I just kept giving it a stir to try and make sure that it was evenly soaking and there were no bits sticking out. As you can see, the dye bath has gone a nice dark red colour. So now I'm going to add the t-shirt to the dye bath and I'm going to let that simmer for another hour. Once that's simmered with the t-shirt in it, I am going to leave it sitting in it overnight. So if I was going for a really nice even colour, I would probably take all the avocado stones out now and strain this. But because it's going to be tie-dye, so I don't mind if it's patchy, I'm going to leave them in and try and get as much colour out of them as I possibly can. Squeeze a bit of water out of that before I put it in there. And again, when I put the t-shirt in the dye bath, I want to make sure that it's completely submerged in the dye. So I'm going to use this spoon that I don't use for food to press it in. So now I'm going to put a lid on that and leave it for another hour. I'll check it occasionally and give it a stir and make sure that it's all covered up before I leave it to soak overnight. Okay, so that has been simmering for another hour now. Now I'm going to turn it off, put the lid back on and leave it like that overnight, occasionally stirring it to make sure that all the fabric is in the water. Okay, so this has been soaking for overnight now, so for over 12 hours. And as you can see, the water is quite a dark purpley red colour. I'm now just going to drain it in the sink and wash it out. And I've got my eco egg to wash it with as well. Rinsing it under warm water. So here is my t-shirt tie-dyed with avocado. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. This is rinsed out after being in the dye bath, and then it's also been washed on a non-colour fast wash as well, and it still held its colour, which I'm really happy about. So I think the salt definitely helped. Unfortunately, a few other bits that I had in the wash with it did turn pink, but luckily that didn't matter too much. So now I am going to try and tie-dye my other t-shirt with turmeric as well, and wearing white today was really not a good idea because turmeric literally stains everything it touches. So I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of turmeric in the pan and then fill it up with water. I'm going to allow that to simmer for an hour whilst I soak the other t-shirt in water and salt, and then I will simmer this for an hour in with the dye and then probably leave it sitting in it for the rest of the day with the heat turned off. So again, it's tie-dye, so I'm going to put elastic bands all around this white t-shirt. I'm going to leave this dye bath to simmer for an hour, and I'm going to leave the t-shirt to soak for an hour in the water and salt mix, and then I'll combine the two. This has been simmering for about an hour, and this has been soaking also for about an hour. My whole kitchen literally stinks of turmeric right now, and I'm now going to add the t-shirt into the dye bath. I'm going to add a little bit more water to that as well, just to make sure it's covering the whole t-shirt. So as you can see, that's a really, really vibrant orange colour. I'll turn it up a little bit, and I'm going to leave the t-shirt in there for an hour to soak while the heat's on, and then I'll probably leave it for another 8 to 12 hours with the heat off. My t-shirt has been soaking in the turmeric overnight. As you can see, it's quite a dark yellow orangey colour. And now I'm going to drain it and then rinse the t-shirt out before leaving it out to dry. Look at that colour difference. Wow, that is so vibrant. So now I'm going to put that out in the sun before, oh my god, look at that, before putting it in the washing machine. Watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment to let me know what you think, and make sure you hit the subscribe button, as I will be uploading new videos every week. I'll also leave a list here of other things that you can dye with and the colours they create. I'm really happy with how the avocado t-shirt has turned out. This is the first time that it's been that successful for me, so I'm really pleased with it. Let me know if you would like me to try any other natural dyeing techniques, and yeah, hopefully by dyeing these t-shirts it means that their life in my wardrobe has been extended and I'm more likely to wear them and love them for longer. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, as I will be uploading new videos every week, including tips on how to make other loved clothes last for longer. Leave me a comment to let me know what you thought, and I will see you next week for another video. Hey everyone! I don't know why I didn't do that at the beginning of the video. Whoop! My stone ran away.